Hello everybody, Cal Banyan's Hypnosis, etc. How you doing? I'll tell you what, today we have an all-Cal episode. It was time for Meredith to be visiting with us and co-hosting this week, but she's just got so many doggone clients that she could not schedule it in. So I said, hey, take it easy, it's all right. I'll do a couple of podcasts, and you know what? Go see your clients, clear out your schedule, and everything will be fine, fine, fine. All right. Hey, if you're watching this video anywhere except calbanyan.com, you got to go there right now, because right below this video on calbanyan.com, you know what we got? We got text, we have links, we have graphics that make this video much, much more valuable. But if you can't go there, you can also get us on iTunes, YouTube, and just all other kinds of places on the web. All right, let's see, introduce myself. Well, if you don't know me by now, you just haven't been watching the videos, have you? I'm Cal Banyan. I'm known for 5-path hypnotherapy, 7-path self-hypnosis, the secret language of feelings, and just basically being a hardcore, get-it-done hypnotist. So there you go. I've got a couple of quick little announcements. Become a VIP member. We've got over like 270, going on 280 free videos. How would you like to have access to the list of all of the videos by title without having to kind of go back arrow, back out arrow, all the way through 270 worth of our videos? Just join and become a VIP. I think the link's right up there. Become a VIP and you'll get instant access to a very well organized list of all of the podcasts. Let's see. Oh, guess what? This is coming out on Friday, and Sunday I'm starting the week of power. I mean, you know, if you watch this Friday and you say, oh my gosh, I need to be in that week of power, which you do if you haven't been through it yet, then give us a call. I think we have 1 or 2 spaces left. We keep our classes small, and because quality is more important than quantity. We also have the NGH-approved Banyan Hypnosis Certification course coming up. Just look over there on the website. We've got links to that kind of stuff. And there's substantial, hundreds of dollars worth of discounts for early registration. Yes, our courses, our live courses are here in Tustin. That's Orange County, California, about 20 miles from Disneyland. You can take this course live on-site or live off-site over the internet. And we have I'm going to say more about this a little bit later. It's going to be one of my topics for this podcast. But we offer a 20% discount for U.S. military veterans. Let's see. We also, if you can't get away to go one of our live courses, we have the 5-path 2.0 recording of the most important stuff from the week of power on video. So it's about 20 DVDs, and you can get certified by watching that video set, taking an optional exam. All right, that's it. Oh, I'm going to be talking about this very important thing about staying plugged in. Please follow us on Facebook.com/HYPNOSISETC. That's Hypnosis, etc. And also, I haven't talked about this in a long time. I have a number of groups on Yahoo. And a lot of people subscribe to them to, you know, be notified when the videos come out. Well, yeah, that happens too. But I'd like to reactivate this one group that used to be a very busy discussion group, and that is our Talk About Hypnosis Yahoo group. So we're going to put a link right down there, right below this video, so you can go right over there and you can just kind of join in on the conversation. That's really what this century is all about. It's about a worldwide community of similar interests, and we really should take advantage of it. Of course, you guys pretty much are in the know because you're all plugged into this. You're here, you're leaving comments down below, and you're part of the Hypnosis, etc. community as we continue to get the truth out and try to raise the profession of hypnotism around the world. All right, let's see. Off with my first page, on to my second page, and see what my first topic of the day is. All right. Hey, guess what? If this comes out when I think it's going to come out, it should be the Friday just before Memorial Day weekend. And I just want to say thank you to all of my fellow vets, male and female, around the world who have served in American Armed Forces and really given us the freedom we know today. You see it on the bumper stickers, but it certainly is true. Freedom isn't free. And of all the vets, be it from surviving vets of World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and all of the wars and conflicts that have happened since Vietnam, you know that all gave some and some gave all. And we really want to raise, at least in this episode, the consciousness of all Americans everywhere to really thank a veteran of any one of the armed forces from America, and really thank them for what they've done, thank them for what they're doing in Iraq and what they're doing in Afghanistan. I know these brothers very well. Some of you may know that I'm a member of the A Chapter California Vietnam Vets Motorcycle Club. And these are some great brothers, and I'm very proud to be associated with these men. And they do a lot to help promote remembering POWs, MIAs, and providing brotherhood. And if you are a veteran or current active duty and you ride American-made motorcycle and you want to ride with some really, really great men, I want to encourage you to check out the Vietnam Vets, Legacy Vets Motorcycle Club. This is one club with two patches. The Vietnam Vets started it, and they expanded it a while back to include veterans from all the wars and conflicts since Vietnam, and those are the Legacy Vets. So go to, here's a website for you, www.vnv-lvmc.com, and go check it out, learn more about the club, and even if you don't ride a motorcycle, check out their t-shirts and mugs. Support the men who have supported you. All right, let's go. Let's continue on. One of the main topics I wanted to get into today was staying plugged in. You know, it's easy to get off track, have your enthusiasm wane, if you're not plugged in. So I'm going to talk about why you should be plugged in and give you some really great places to stay plugged in. What do I mean by that? I've talked about this a little bit in past episodes, and that is garbage in, garbage out. Gold in, gold out. That which you focus on becomes the biggest part of your life. And it's very difficult to stay focused on being successful in any field if you don't do anything about it, if you don't socialize with people who do the same thing, either online or offline, to keep the interest going. So one of the things that happens if you stay plugged in with groups such as coming back here, leaving comments, watching our videos from week to week, going to our Facebook page, facebook.com/hypnosis, etc., or joining our Yahoo group. And also I wanted to mention one other group, hypnotistconvention.com. When you do that, you continue to learn. So no profession does the individual go through college or go through a certification course or go through some preliminary training and then stop learning. Being plugged in helps you to continue to learn this new stuff that's coming out, new concerns in the profession, new challenges to the profession, and so staying plugged in is vitally important to your success. I think that's a big part of my success. From the very beginning, I started plugging into some Yahoo groups, and then other kinds of groups that came up during as the internet was being developed. Also, you should be an NGH member, National Guild of Hypnotists member, and you should start, if you don't already have one in your area, an NGH chapter. Stay plugged in. It doesn't have to be electrical. You could actually see people in person. When you do this, not only do you get to take by learning, by being re-enthused, but you get to contribute. When you contribute to the group, when you contribute to this podcast by leaving a comment below, then what happens is people get to know you, and you can eventually begin to teach as you share your insights. Sometimes even sharing questions helps people learn. For example, I often tell our grads, once you've had enough experience, you need to strive to become a teacher. Because I never would have been the quality of hypnotist that I am now if I hadn't taught. Because what happens when you teach is in classes, students will ask you questions that you never even thought to ask. And then as you weigh those questions against what you do understand, you begin to understand what you understand more fully, more deeply. And if the question takes you beyond your understanding, it pushes you to go out and learn new things. So stay plugged in so that you learn, so that you can contribute, so it keeps your interest going, and also you make friends. There's too many hypnotists out there. They just lose interest because they don't have any hypno friends. And you know, hypno friends, they're great if they're in person. You know, in the flesh, right there in front of you. You can shake hands, hug, or whatever. But the next best thing is having online hypnosis friends. I remember when I first opened the Banyan Hypnosis Center. It was just called the Hypnosis Center. And I never wanted to have Cal Banyan's hypnosis office where it was just me. I modeled it after like a counseling center or a mental health center, where there was going to be, right from the beginning, I wanted other hypnotherapists there so that I would have that camaraderie, that collegial type environment. But not everybody can go out and start a 2,000 square foot type facility. Well, I was able to do that, and that helped me to stay focused by having these other hypnotherapists around me. If you can't do that, which most of us can't, you want to stay plugged into groups and other kinds of activities online, such as blogs like this. It helps you to find out about big events and which ones are worth going to. I only ever go to one hypnosis event. Well, actually two. And they're both National Guild of Hypnotists events. They're just because they're classy, they're the biggest, they're well run, and for me they just offer the most. So how did I learn about these? Well, one is, how did I learn that they were worth going to? Well, by being plugged in online. I heard about speakers that were worth seeing, teachers that were worth studying under. I learned about books, so stay plugged in. Now here's an interesting thing. I have a note down here. It says, join pushy groups that push email notifications to you. There's kind of like two kinds of groups or websites online. One is you have to go there. You don't know what's going on unless you go to the site. And the problem is, out of sight is out of mind. Join groups that push messages out to you, that let you know when group posts of interest have been posted, or when emails have been sent to topics that you're particularly interested in. This will, it's like the profession tapping on your shoulder and say, hey, look at this, look at this. Here's a kind of a little thing that I use that maybe might help you also, is I use Yahoo and Google Alerts. You just type into Google Alerts and the information will come up. But I can have keywords trigger emails to me. So Google has been programmed to send me a daily or weekly, whichever I choose, email that has newsworthy topics that have been posted on the internet for hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and other topics that I'm interested in. So these things just come to me automatically. I have the internet set up to tap me on the shoulder to remind me about interesting things that are going on. All right. Consistent involvement in the profession helps you to be more consistent in your work in the profession. So as you join these groups and you make these friends and you teach the internet to come and tap you on the shoulder when interesting things happens, it keeps the topic of hypnosis and hypnotherapy forefront in your mind. So it just becomes very easy to stay focused on the topic and do the kinds of things that you need to do in order to continue to grow and be active in the topic or in the profession. Okay, great places to be plugged into. And I talked about the Talk About Hypnosis group on yahoo.com, link right below. Leave comments on this podcast. You notice some very smart people will get in a conversation about the topics of each one of these videos. And when someone leaves a comment, it sends out messages to other people who've left comments on a particular podcast to let them know. So an interesting thing, I can see this happen sometimes, is a video that I may have published 1 year ago or 2 years ago. Someone will go there and they will leave a comment. Let's say it was on having a successful hypnosis website, and someone will say, well, you know, I think this is really true, but I think something has changed nowadays. And then what happens is anyone else who left a comment on that particular podcast from before gets notified. And so this conversation can be going on with regard to that topic as it is relevant to today. So leave comments, and even on older videos that we've published. Of course, facebook.com/hypnosis, etc. Oh, and here's this other one I was talking about. The hypnotist, here's the exact web address. We'll have the link below. http://thehypnotistconvention.ning.com. Also, I didn't have this ready. Another great way to be plugged in is when you can join the NGH and you're going to get the hypnogram, and I'm sure I've got a copy around here of the NGH Journal of Hypnotism, but I'm just not going to look for it right now. And to get these several times a year with topics that are of interest to you is just the greatest value that you could have. So, there you go. Stay plugged in. So if there's anything else I want to talk about on that topic? All right, good. Now I'm going to segue a little bit. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? If you have not yet started seeing clients, or if you're wanting to go from part-time to full-time, you need to do a little evaluation. What's been holding you back? Is it that you don't have enough training? If that's the case, go get the training. You don't have enough support? If that's true, all this being plugged in stuff that I'm talking about can provide you with a tremendous amount of professional support. And this is really important. When you select an instructor or a school of hypnotism, ask them about these things. I want to talk more about this on the next podcast, but ask them, what kind of support are you going to provide afterwards? Is it that you don't know how to set up an office? You know, Google how to set up a hypnosis office. Just about everything you need to know is either on the internet or offered on the internet. When you stay plugged in, you're going to have to ask yourself these questions. There are people out there that if you get busy and you become an excellent hypnotist, or if you're a hypnotist and you want to go to the next level, that you can save families. You can save people their quality of life. And in some cases, you can even save a life. It's happened to me more than once. I'll be out in the mall or in a public area sometime, and someone will walk up to me, and it basically goes like this: Cal, I don't know if you remember me or not. And then they'll talk about what they saw me for, and then they'll say, I just want to thank you. And they might say, without you, I would not still have my family, or I never would have met my wife, or I never would have got past this addiction. And these things that we do for people are some of the most fulfilling things that we can ever do. So ask yourself, what's holding me back? Do I have enough training? If you need the training, go get it. If you don't have enough support, get plugged in. If you don't know how to set up an office, find out how to set up an office. As you know, we've set up the brand new Business Startup Pack 2.0. It is one of the very best ways you can get started. You don't know how to market your practice? Learn. There's tons and tons of marketing courses on the internet. Of course, we have the Turn Your Hypnosis Practice into a Gold Mine. Do what it takes. Here's the secret recipe. Be plugged in so that you're always thinking about hypnosis. That a certain amount of your day and week is dedicated to reading about hypnosis on forums, on groups, on blogs like this, so that you're thinking about it all the time. This will help you to have the consistency of behavior that will help you to use the different kinds of materials that are out there available for you. Here's a big one. I see this, I'm on a number of Yahoo groups, and it happens over and over again. I'll see people who've been through some odd training course somewhere complaining that they just don't have confidence in doing the work. And here's the deal. There's two main reasons. One is your training was inadequate, and if that's the case, go get some more training. And the next thing is what? You're not a confident person. And if you're not a confident person, then you are in such a good situation. Your lack of confidence, which has been holding you back, is something that is very easily overcome by seeing an excellent hypnotist, hypnotherapist, or learning 7-path self-hypnosis. Now, as you begin to do that, and you experience the change, you become what I call a true believer. You're not just someone that hypnosis is some kind of academic study. You can look at people and say, I know it works because it changed my life. So actually, if you are overweight, or if you don't have confidence, or if you're a cigarette smoker, or you have a fear of heights, this is great. This means that you can use hypnosis or self-hypnosis to overcome those problems and be a walking, talking testimonial of what hypnosis and self-hypnosis can do for you. Excuse the slurping. I usually do that while Elron or Meredith is talking, so you don't see me slurping or hear me slurping during a regular episode. But when it's an all-Cal episode, you get me including my slurpage. All right. Two quick little things. I'll wrap this episode up. Taking too long to act or make a decision. You got to act. Every time I do a class, one of the first things I do is I congratulate those individuals for being there, for making the decision. I tell them for every one person in my class, there's 20 people out there that did not make the decision. They hemmed, they hawed, and the date came and went. They did not make the investment in themselves. So speed up your ability to make decisions and just be part of the conversation. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this all-Cal episode. I hope you'll visit my websites. This one, calbanyan.com. Visit hypnosis.org. That's where I'll teach you free. Just play the video on the front page, and I'll show you how to get a free video on how to do rapid inductions, Cal Banyan style, and a bunch of other cool stuff. All right, that's it. Cal Banyan signing off. This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and the Banyan Hypnosis Center for Training and Services, Incorporated. All rights reserved, for private use only, may not be duplicated without permission. For contact information, go to www.hypnosiscenter.com.